Let's start the. Good evening, welcome to Bedminster Township Committee. This is our regularly scheduled October 2025. We get that right.
Time's going by fast.
And what is that we have a full attendance of 4 Township Committee members here in person. Committeewoman Fernandez, Committeewoman Morosky, Committeeman Hickey, and I'm here.
Yeah.
And the reason we have 4 is Committeeman Stevenson has resigned from the Township Committee. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Probably right after we do the either the Pledge of Allegiance or after public comments. Ms. Ray, will you please have the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Yes, Mayor. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Committee was sent to the Courier News Somerville, Bernardsville News Whippany, and to all subscribers and posted at the Township Municipal Building on January 7th, 2025.
Great, thank you. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, you need the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so before we get to public comments, going to talk about Committeeman Stevenson. Throughout the last meeting, Committeeman Stevenson did resign from the Bedminster Township Committee. He sent a letter of resignation to Robin and then copied the Township Committee on it. And then he sent us an email. We certainly know that he's been extremely busy at work. I was telling both John and I before last week's meeting about how many hours he's been working on different matters, and but still it was a little bit of a surprise and shock to all of us. But we will certainly miss Committeeman Stevenson for his intellect, for his dedication to the town, for his the emotions he poured into this position, and he's just been a great contribution over the last 9 years, or almost 9 years. We will miss him. We will miss the candy that he brought to. Well, we will miss most of the candy that he brought to meetings. I don't know that the Goldberg's chews really did it for anyone. Did you like those?
I will miss them.
Those don't count. I'm sorry. We wish Doug certainly the best in his endeavors, and we know that we will count on him as a friend, not just during his time on Township Committee, but moving forward as well. John Ballard.
Yes, Mayor.
Very long time since we've had to deal with a resignation before term had ended. So what is the process?
The process is as follows, and it's governed by state statute 40 A:16-11. Mr. Stevenson was a member of the Republican Party, so the Republican Municipal Committee has 15 days from the date of his resignation. He submitted his resignation letter to Ms. Ray on October 7th, so they have until October 22nd, if they so choose and elect to do so, to submit 3 names to the Township Committee. The Township Committee then has within 30 days from Mr. Stevenson's resignation on October 7th to choose one of the 3 if it wishes to do so on or before November 7th. You have a meeting the night of November 3rd. So if you received the 3 names from the Republican Municipal Committee and decided to pick one of those 3 names, you would do so on November 3rd. If they do not submit any names, then you can either select someone on November 3rd or his seat will remain vacant until the end of the year. So we have to wait and see if the Republican Municipal Committee submits 3 names to Ms. Ray by October 22nd. That's the process. It's not a complicated process. It's governed by state statute, and it's one in my years as municipal attorney I've seen at least a dozen times.
So even though November 3rd is the date that you're mentioning, November 4th is the election. And there will be certainly at least one new person elected, although there may not be official on the 4th. But it doesn't give us the ability to defer any decision until after the election. So you're saying 15 days for the Republican Municipal Committee to provide 3 names, or at least 3 names, or at most 3 names?
3, they have to submit 3 names. If you do not act, so let's assume they submit the 3 names and you don't act on November 3rd, then the Republican Municipal Committee can pick the person they wish to serve on the governing body. And of course, that would be the balance of Mr. Stevenson's term. So it's not a long period of time. It's merely till the end of the year.
Okay. Ms. Ray, have you heard anything from Steve Parker?
I
Chair?
have received no correspondence.
Okay, so the date for the Republican Municipal Committee to act is the 22nd.
Yes, 15 days from the 7th.
Which is 2 days from today.
Yes.
Okay. And so I did ask John offline, hey, if it was November 4th and there was someone else is elected, is there any way that we could give that person a head start serving on Township Committee, whoever that may be? And the answer was no.
No.
You either act by November 3rd or you leave the seat vacant until January 1st.
Right. Now, if they do not submit 3 names, then you can either act on November 3rd or leave the seat vacant until the end of the year. If they submit 3 names, then if you fail to act at that point, then they can pick the person to serve until the end of the year, the Republican Municipal Committee. I have not, in my experience, ever seen a governing body fail to act if 3 names were submitted and default the selection to in this case, the Republican Municipal Committee. If it was a Democrat, it would be the Democrat Municipal Committee.
Thank you. Any questions for John from the Township Committee regarding the process? John, if the Republican Municipal Committee does not provide us 3 names, what's our options at that point on November 3rd?
Either pick someone or don't. You could pick someone. If you pick someone, they're sworn in immediately and are seated that night. If you do not pick someone, then the seat just remains vacant until the end of the year.
But my recollection is that we just can't pick anyone. It would still have to be from the party of the committee member who resigned.
Yes.
So
The
Republican Party, we can't pick a Democrat, we can't pick an unaffiliated resident. It has to be from the party of the committee member who did resign.
That's the statute.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to put that on the record. Thank you, John. With that, no further questions for John?
Pretty straightforward.
Okay. We'll go to public comments. So the microphone up there is available for public comment. Please come up and give your the street where you reside. You don't have to give the street house number. Is that one on?
No.
The one on tape.
Hi, yeah, my name is Jean Johnson. I live at 105 Park Court in Bedminster. And I am here to talk about a place that frequently pops up on the agenda, which is the Pluckerman Park Senior Community. I am both a current and past resident of Pluckerman Park. I first lived there about 10 years ago. I am now in my third apartment there and have seen the changes over the past decade, or should I say, the worsening conditions. It is my understanding that Treetop Development has tried and probably continues to try to sell this complex, and I know that you have vetted people who are interested and found them wanting, unable, or unwilling to bring Pluckerman Park up to the standards that the Bedminster community wants and that the residents deserve. Thank you for helping to ensure that we don't get stuck with an owner who would be no better or even worse than the current owners. If you haven't personally walked through Pluckerman Park lately, let me describe some of the conditions that are observable, even without going to any of the apartments. On my building, there's a gutter that's hanging halfway off its moorings. In addition to letting a waterfall pour down when we get a storm, there's a possibility the thing could just fall off because it's halfway off now. The driveway and parking area can best be described as looking like Dresden after World War II, and I'm not kidding. In one place, there's a dip, looks like a small sinkhole. That's so bad somebody actually did fall on that. They purchased a cone to put there. The cone's now.
Is that the same circle?
Yes.
It had been fixed.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
That's.
There are several places where the sidewalk had significant divots. One of our residents that lives right near that is a survivor of Chernobyl and has a lot of medical issues, as you can imagine. I hope that she doesn't trip and get injured there. There's rotting wood near the door frame of one of the units. In several places, the siding is coming off. The roofs are in desperate need of replacement. I believe in one case, a roof leak caused the ceiling in a bedroom to actually collapse. There are instances, but here's one that involves, there are other instances, but here's one that involves our residents, since everybody has to get rid of their trash. The dumpsters are surrounded by falling down picket fences, that have missing pieces where the gates are falling off. There's holes in the side, leaving a splintered top. When people try to throw their garbage over there, it either gets stuck or in a couple of cases, people have fallen. I actually picked somebody up one time. One woman fell and broke her wrist, and I think she's in a suit lab now with the management. There was also a problem with rats at one point. And of course, the raccoons like to get in there because it's easy for them to do that. I know that these may not be building code violations, but as far as I'm concerned, they should be considered health and safety violations, especially in a community that's full of vulnerable residents. At the very least, it would be helpful for the township to put pressure on Treetop Development to replace these or something similar with those trash things instead of having that wooden structure, the plastic thing, keep out the raccoons. It would be easier for people to open and close, and also to have something where the dumpsters don't get so pushed so far back to the back that people have to try and get in there to empty their trash. As a critical part of the township's affordable housing commitment, I would like to see how we can start making even small steps to making Pluckerman Park a safe and viable place for low and moderate senior incomes housing to live. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Jason, if you could give your notes over to Robin, Robin, to get that over to both construction, building, and fire safety.
We'll make a copy before you go. Thank you.
So, Ms. Johnson, as you noted, we've been keeping Pluckerman Park on our old business. And we did that purposefully, because we never wanted to let the conditions at Pluckerman Park escape our memories. You mentioned the sinkhole. I don't know how many times we've had discussions with current management about that sinkhole. I believe the sinkhole had been replaced once or twice since I've been on Township Committee. Some of it was extremely superficial with the paving. Obviously, there's an issue underneath, and we've heard the excuses that it's drainage coming from down the hill and underneath. It doesn't matter to us. That's certainly an unsafe situation. And we do recognize that it would be an unsafe situation in any community. but particularly in that community, which is age restricted.
Yep.
Ms. Johnson may be one of the younger members of that community.
It's 73.
Okay. But you know, we've all of us have knocked on doors and talked to residents there. And they've expressed to us the frustration. We've sent zoning out there, we've sent construction out there, we've sent fire safety out there. There have been improvements made. Certainly some of them stick and some of them haven't. And also, as you've noted, one of the reasons that it's another reason it's been on the agenda is once in a while, there have been discussions from prospective purchasers who are interested in taking over, and some of the elements of that involve the municipality. We are, John, you can correct me, I believe we're not at liberty to discuss those, since a lot of those are contract negotiations and some of which involve us and some of which don't. So we're a little leery of going out with public. But as you did know, one of the things that we look, if anyone is going to get into any arrangement with Bedminster Township on the continued operation or new change of ownership of that facility, we're looking to see improvements, not status quo. And improvements are not a coat of paint. They're not putting a scoop on a handrail, but actually real improvements. John, if I'm going off the rails, you can corral.
You're not, Mayor. I think it's quite accurate to say that your honor has insisted on significant improvements and not merely putting, shall we say, lipstick on the pig. We're looking for significant upgrades and capital from any perspective of purchasers. And you're quite correct. We're not at liberty to go into any details as to whether we are at this time or not involved with a prospective purchaser.
So what we'll do, we'll take your list, and we're going to hand it over to our inspectors who have the authority, hopefully, over some of these issues. We've worked in the past with DCA about some of the health and safety elements of the facility. Certainly, if you were building an age-restricted community today, it would not look like what Pluckman Park looks like. And that goes from the stairways, all the second floor units. Look, personally, I've gone up some of those and the rickety handrails.
I live in a second floor unit.
And so you know what it's like. And we've had discussions with the management, including someone who maintains that on a day-to-day basis. And we certainly understand that the rental income coming from that facility is restricted, both under New Jersey affordable housing and I believe it's still under the federal program as well. So there are restrictions. So there's only so much revenue coming in. However, that revenue needs to be appropriately allocated to improvements. So Robin, please distribute that. Thank you. Okay, your microphone is still open for public comment. Any further members of the public? And I imagine that Amanda and Chief Bernardo don't have anything to say during public comment. So we will proceed with the rest of the meeting, and thank you, Ms. Johnson, for those remarks. We've room said minutes to approve. That's October 6th, 2025 Township Committee meeting. Any comments have not otherwise been provided to Ms. Ray? Seeing none, take motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Comments or apples? We have one. And Bobby, what's it coming up just yet? We'll see if there's any questions. This is a fireworks permit for a display scheduled for November 8, 2025. At approximately 8:15 p.m. at Truth National Golf Club. Chief Bernardo, Jason, Robin, application's gone through, the requisite departments here and
Steve Dill reviewed and approved.
reviewed and approved. Okay, so. Robin, you should come on up. And for the record, your name and position at Trump.
My name is Rob Totten. I'm the Director of Security at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster.
Thank you, Rob. How long is the display?
About 8 minutes.
8 minutes. And kicking off at 8:15, it gets dark. Getting dark out earlier. That's all I got. Any further questions, comments of either Rob or any questions in the application itself?
I assume the neighbors have been notified in the immediate area?
Our law firm is sending out those letters to people within 200 feet of our property line.
Perfect, thank you.
Jason, anything from fire department? No, you're all good. Chief, you're all good? Okay. So let's take a motion to approve the fireworks permit for November 8th, investing that 8 minutes at approximately 8:15.
So moved. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay, let's go to monthly report discussion by subcommittee chair. And Gina, if you didn't know, I already signed DPW to you. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You know how to sign everything and
No,
everything?
he gave me his cell phone number.
Thank you, Mayor. So, I don't have any updates from DPW as of yet, but, as far as rec goes, it's been a busy month, busy October. So we had Fall Fest, despite the state of emergency for Sunday. Saturday was actually rainy and cold, but we had upwards of 3,000 guests attend Fall Fest, so that's amazing. The band was playing in the rain, people were dancing in the rain, and the adult beverage tent was packed. So that was great. It's just a great day, and it was so nice to see the community come out, and a lot of people came out early because I think they were anticipating it starting to rain in the afternoon. So thank you to everyone involved, DPW, Neil, all the entire municipal building staff, because everyone was there, and it was so nice to see everyone, and they were just like in good spirits too, and that was great. So thank you to everyone involved with that. And then this coming Saturday is the annual trunk or treat that we started, if you remember, in 2020 when Bedminster School, because of the pandemic, wasn't hosting anything, and the rec department took it over, and it was such a big success that we've continued it every year. So October 25th from 10:30 to 12:30 at the farmers market, although I would say come 10:30 to 11:30 because most of the time people are done by in an hour. And it's so cute to see all the costumes. The adults come dressed up, the kids come dressed up. It's so nice to see all the little kids in town. And it's a huge event with hundreds of people. So we do need vehicles. So if anybody wants to, they can contact Neil at Neil Mastrobono at bedminster.us or call Township extension 405. Or yeah. And
Vehicles have registered for a trunk or treat
I
already?
think there's about 10. So usually I think we had like 13 in the past, 15. Yeah, it's a good amount. It's fun. You decorate the trunk. I've done it before, and I'll actually be there. Bill and I will be manning the township vehicle because Neil has baptism that day. So we'll be handing out full-size candy bars. So we'll be there.
DPW, filming with candy.
Yes, they'll be there. DPW.
That's always great.
In their glory.
That's great. Once again, while we're on Fall Fest, so Fall Fest was just terrific. Weather was spotty.
There's-
It never really felt like rain. It just felt like a mist. It was.
It's like Seattle.
You got me wet though.
And it was
Jason can vouch for me. I don't think anyone got run over on my watch.
No, the parking
We
lot.
can talk about the other times. And Robin, so how do we have an accounting of, whether it was the,
So we backed into the numbers because we started adding the credit cards, so
Okay.
we knew the admission, when I had originally told you where we were. Those were general admissions, just adults only, if you have to remember that. But then we got the credit card results, so all in all, about 3,600 people. That's including the vendors, they each had at least 2 people at each spot, some had 3, 4, and 5, which we didn't count, but we just figured 2 for each. So that's a good number despite the weather.
that's great, and that's not counting 18 and under or whatever the age limit was.
Children.
Yeah, which was a lot of children.
Those are paid adults.
Yeah, so that's great. That's great. What, look, the prior year, what, 5,000 to 6,000?
Right.
Considering both the weather and the forecast, which was worse than it actually was, suppresses those numbers. So, great job once again. Just to echo, Gina, thank you to all the Bedminster staff, police, fire, DPW, administration, all the volunteers who came out that day, terrific. Watching people, sort of at the parking area, I got to see people coming in and I got to see people leaving. Everyone was happy and smiling and complimentary of the event overall. And thank you to Neil and Bill Rosen from Rec, who got us an American Ninja Warrior, who I'm not sure if anyone saw this. So
I saw her.
Abby Clark,
Yes, great.
Abby Clark, a Bedminster resident. She's been on American Ninja Warrior for years now, and I think was a finalist or semi-finalist a couple times. And they operate a gym that focuses on that. So we reached out to them, and she came in. They did a little kitty American Ninja Warrior. I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I heard it was great.
Sit line on,
Yeah.
constant, kids were lined up.
That's
Great.
awesome. That's great. So thank you once again to everyone who made that day special. And thank you to everyone who's going to make Trunk or Treat
Yeah.
25 special as well.
And Neil did it, I mean, amazing. I think I saw him around like 2 o'clock and he had 28,000 steps already. A million times, so, yeah, so it was an amazing event, so thank you to everyone.
Great.
Mr. Mayor, a couple of things with DPW. Leaf pickup is gonna probably start next Monday,
Excellent. Great.
all right? We have bulky waste this Saturday, 7 to 2. For any residents, we might be paving steeplechase and frontage this Thursday.
This Thursday, I was getting a lot of questions about steeplechase. Getting a lot of questions about steeplechase.
It's up in the air right now.
So you-
Over there.
That's terrific.
Yeah,
So
the time's
that's,
gonna be the 3rd.
so that's a million pave?
Yeah.
And that would be, if it starts on Thursday, it would be complete by,
He wants to do it in a day. Yeah. He only has a day.
okay,
So,
all right.
if not, it's gonna be on the 3rd. So.
That's great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Committee Woman Nureski.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Quick update on the Jacobus Vanderveer House Commission. I know a lot of people are really concerned about the house, but I'm telling you, it's in great hands. With Robin still pretty much steering this ship, even though she's trying desperately to not do that anymore and pass it along to everybody else. We've got some great things going on. Especially just taking care of the house, getting that squared away. I don't know whoever has seen the house recently, some of the steps out in the front, the pudding stone, it's a easy stone to break, and they're kind of getting a little rickety, so we're working on that. The bees have come out because it's that time of year. We're over at the River Road Part 2. Jason and his crew will be taking care of that. And the sump pump came up as a question, so they're going to take a look at the sump pump and see how those are working. So the house itself is really in good hands. As far as programming goes, the journey through the past, there were a lot of people who showed up. Some some people were there who had never been to the house before and were excited about seeing it and joining. So got some names and we'll have some new people, I think, coming in.
While I was doing parking, someone came up to me and said, maybe it was Derek, said someone came up, drove 2 hours or over 2 hours to
Yep.
see the JVH house.
Yep,
It's pretty great.
it's very great. So if we can get the word out to other people like that person, we're gonna have lines out the door. School day went real well. That was on October 15th. Paula and her crew did a great job and all the kids had a great time. Teachers always say thank you very much. I believe it was Bedminster School.
4th and 8th grades, Bedminster School and Willow School.
And we haven't had Bedminster School there in a long time, so it was really nice for them to be able to come back. And hopefully, we've got a date set up in April for the spring and get those rocking and rolling, maybe another group from Bedminster. The two,
Colonial Christmas is coming up.
huh?
Colonial Christmas is coming up.
It is. So I'll get there in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
So the 250th subcommittee, being run by our own Wendy Hickey, Steve Parker, and Miss Ray, of course, is in the middle of everything, as I said. They've got lots of good ideas that are coming up and we'll start working on those. Not the least of which are some signage that the county isn't going to be involved in. So we'll get some signs for River Road Park and perhaps some of the other parks. That I believe that project just came back to the fore. They had stopped with signs, now they're coming back. So that'll be real nice for even if you're just walking around River Road Park, you'll be able to see what happened at the house, what happened in the area. Colonial Christmas Subcommittee, again, Robin and Ms. Galbraith. Those two have put on many colonial Christmases in the past that have been very successful, and we are looking forward to that again. And that will be the weekend. Everybody get their calendars, November 28th through the 30th. There's going to be all sorts of different events, depends on the day. And as we get closer, I'll let everybody know where that's going. And they had a new little program the other day. It was Teachers Day from Warren Township. A bunch of teachers came to the house and learned about the house and the grounds. And that just gets the information out to a new group of educators and to share the information. And they were excited and wanted to do it again. So that was really good. And I think that's it. Robin, did I miss anything?
Spot on.
Okay. So we're excited about this. It's going forward. Everybody's showing up to these meetings. If they can't be in person, they're coming in by Zoom. So it's rocking and rolling and it's really good to see.
That's great. Fantastic.
On to
Renee?
Committee Hickey.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, all. If you want, you can steal my thunder on Board of Health, because we just talked about 3 septic applications. That's all I got for that one. Everything else is normal business on the Board of Health. Board Ed, I attended the school board meeting last Thursday. The board expressed its thanks to Robin, to Neil, DPW, and the entire staff for a very successful Fall Fest. Also, they gave a nice shout out to Committeeman Stevenson for his many years of dedicated service. And finally, a lot of positive feedback for our new special, Officer Ferry. Apparently, he is very visible in and around the school, and the board is very appreciative of his presence. Mayor, do you want me to talk about library board?
Yes, please.
All right, so we met last Wednesday. I'm happy to report that the security camera project has now been completed. All the interior and exterior cameras have been installed or up and running. Bedminster PD is now tied into that system as well. Not only does this help protect a very valuable asset for the community, but it also helps protect our patrons. And kudos to our IT director, Elliot Perez, who advised the project from start to finish. His expertise and contributions were invaluable. That's all I got.
Okay, great. Thank you. Ag Advisory, Robin, we have our meeting scheduled. I saw there was a exchange with you and Jim.
I only heard from 3 people so far. I'm waiting to hear back from the other. So I'll
Okay.
put another reminder.
So Ag Advisory will be scheduling that very shortly. Land Use Board, there was a meeting, was it last Thursday or was it Thursday before?
Thursday before.
Thursday before. It was not a public hearing, it was not an application, but it was a conceptual review by Carrie. They were presenting, I guess is essentially the scaled down version of their previously approved project. Seemed to be received well by the Land Use Board. And based upon whatever comments they've heard, they will be coming back to the land use board for a approval for the scale down project. Farmers Market was off last week, not to coincide with the Far Hills races. But we're back this Saturday all the way through December 6th. So Farmers Market will be back up and running. There's good weather, I believe, planned. This is how we work it. This is how we work it for this Saturday. So expecting a good crowd and just letting folks know that it's just for the races. We're back this Saturday. One of the things I did want to talk about, both Committeeman Hickey and I attended. This was a week ago last Friday. We got an email from Jessica Paolini, who's the Somerset County Manager for Economic Development, that she was putting together a roundtable on New Jersey downtown issues, basically what towns are doing and what they could do better to bolster their downtown areas. So Committeeman Hickey and I attended on behalf of Bedminster, but also Susanna Karras, our zoning official, was there because she's also the economic development manager in Hillsborough. So having Susanna there was also super helpful for us. Other attendees, Mayor Onderko from Manville, Mayor Mary Jane Knows from Burnersville, Jen AC from Berners Township. Let's see, Somerville had a few people there as well from downtown Somerville, and I'm trying to think there's another Somerville rep there. And I'm probably forgetting another town.
Manville?
That was Mayor Onderko.
Oh, that's right.
But anyways, it's something that's certainly dear to what we've been doing here in Bedminster, talking about Pluckman, talking about Bedminster Village. We talked about what we were dealing with the property owners and business operators in Pluckman and in Bedminster Village, and talked about some of the things that can be implemented to encourage folks to frequent the businesses there, and whether it was pedestrian-friendly sidewalks, anything else that would enhance pedestrian activity as well as parking, and other amenities. We talked a little bit about the Pluckman Park, previously known as Encampment View Park, temporarily known as Crossroads Park, until such time either Crossroads becomes a permanent name or we come up with something better. So we talked about that, and there was this tool that Somerset County has secured. Let me make sure I get the name of it right. City Data. City Data. So City Data is a program that allows you to essentially geofence an area. And from cell phone data, whether the cell phones are being active or just in your pocket, that information is available. And you can geofence an area for a day or for a time period. And the data you will get is, these are where the people who showed up, where they came from, how long they stayed, and where they went afterwards.
It's like an app. Yeah.
That's a little frightening.
Or park, yeah.
Website, it doesn't give you identities. It just says you had 800 people, 30% of them were from Bedminster, 20% from Bernards, something along those lines. So it lets you know where you're getting your customers. And it's not just available to the municipality, but it's available to the businesses in the municipality. So one of the things that we asked them to gather for us, Fall Fest. So, Colin, put an email together and asked them for the data for the last, I think they can only go back 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, so I asked for 3 years.
So I asked for 3 years of data for Fall Fest, so geofence River Road during Fall Fest, you can find out what percentage is Bedminster, what's coming from Bridgewater, Bernards Township, or further away.
For the last 3 years?
Yeah,
You can have for the specific dates for the last 3 years.
Okay.
so we've also asked to look at farmers market.
Right.
Right, so we know from certainly from social media that obviously the majority of people who follow the market are or responding to social media posts kind of from Bedminster, Bernards, Bridgewater, when you would expect 2 and 3. But also we get some outliers, New York, Pennsylvania. And so you can use this information to augment your own marketing. But we can also use this for businesses. So this information we can make available to our restaurants, to the stores, to the supermarkets. Actually, you can, and the county is available. So you could either run through Township Committee or Robin, or just go directly to Jessica Pellini at the county and ask for information. So you wanted to see, so we did put some additional requests in. We wanted to see essentially just on our own, Delicious Heights. The Pluckman Inn,
Somerset Hill Shopping Center.
Somerset Hill Shopping Center to see, okay, just so that we know. So that when we're doing these neighborhood downtown meetings, that we can make this available and maybe even have some of the information ready for them. I think we also put in for
Mill Cider.
Mill Cider and Grace Fellowship Church.
Grace Fellowship, correct.
So the concept being, okay, are people coming to the church, which is probably the biggest draw in Bedminster Village, and are they then going to the rest? Are they going to Delicious Heights? Going to Bedminster Pizza?
When you say where people are coming from, it's tracking like where their location is before they arrive at. What is
To my data analysis.
live? No, I'm just curious that like what exactly is it showing us? Because data is only as good as what it's telling you, right?
So from my understanding, I'll tell you from my telecom background. So, obviously when you have that little cell phone in your pocket, your location is known to the carrier within 10 or 15 feet, right? This is done in aggregate, not on an individual basis, as the mayor asked. So you can track as you go you hit cell tower to cell tower, it knows where you're coming from, where the handoff was just made, where your current location is, how long are you in that current location, and then where you went, right? And they just aggregate the data, and then you can slice and dice it.
So how do we know that this cell phone is a Bedminster?
It's
cell phone?
That's what I'm saying.
It's
How do you know
not-
a Bedminster resident or somebody who works in Bedminster or somebody, like.
It's not perfect. So the first 6 digits of your phone number are typically what they use the local exchange carrier to know where it's registered to. It may not be perfect. You may have a California number that's registered, but it's actually a resident who's here. I don't know whether or not they've combed the data to kind of fix some of that, but in general, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking like if it's telling you where they're coming from physically or where they are from. Like where are they coming from or where they actually live, both.
Well, when you say where they're from, the registration's on is, say it's 908-719.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a Bedminster registration, because based on the number plan area, that's where that phone was originally located. You might have somebody who has a California cell phone number because they moved from California, so therefore it gets a little.
No, I understand that. I'm like, say my phone number, it's like, it's been my phone number since I just got planes, right? It's
Right.
I've always changed. So I mean, is it saying where my phone bill goes to?
No, it just knows the original registration based on the first 6 digits.
Okay.
And then it's just watching as that cell phone is going from tower to tower, from Bernards Township to Bedminster to Bridgewater. It can track that. Again, it's done on an aggregate basis. It's not done on an individual subscriber basis.
So examples that they used at the roundtable was that Jessica had already, I guess she geofenced the King Shopping Center. was it King's or?
Yeah, King's, no, you're right.
Shopping, yep. And she, she's like, majority Bedminster and vast majority Somerset County, then second Middlesex Union County. Surprisingly, the data said very low numbers for Hunterdon. So this is Jessica, and she's just throwing out. So for example, they may want to boost a little marketing in Hunterdon, is why aren't we getting more folks coming from Reddington or further down 78 coming in, or Tewksbury?
King's down there.
They're going to Brentford.
Yeah.
So
There's a whole bunch of questions and that leads to other questions.
right, and this, the reason the Somerset County secured this is really to help the Somerset County businesses. And if there's, if they're gonna make this all available, and if we can use that, or businesses or property owners can use this to facilitate improvements in those areas, then let's spread the word that the tool is there, it's available. Contact Somerset County Economic Development, or ask us and we'll make that request. So anything else you want to talk about from your breakout session?
It's interesting. I think all the mayors are struggling with, how do you attract, new feet to the area? Like, Mary Jane Canosa is talking about in Burnsville, they do a taste of the town where they have, restaurant, tastings, right? And you gather a bunch of restaurateurs in a room and invite the community to come out. So it's all kind of innovative ways to, how do you create a magnet to your downtown? And it was interesting to hear, Mayor, that I think a lot of them, everyone is facing the same issues, right? How do you make it attractive? How do you make it pedestrian friendly? How do you make it safe? And how do you make it fresh? Meaning that, it can't be the same old thing time and again. You need to, innovate and have new ideas in terms of how to draw people into your community.
But we've got it particularly difficult because we have two downtowns kind of,
Right.
like two little pieces.
Yep.
And they're not connected at all except by hike and bike.
Right, so essentially it's clear that even of the municipalities that were represented, and I also want to mention Colleen Moore, the Somerset County Executive Director. She was there, and I've known Colleen for years. So Colleen is not only essentially in charge of running the day-to-day business of Somerset County, but she's also the mayor of Fanwood. So she was also able to participate from her perspective, and you can look at the municipalities that were there. We're all dealing with different issues. Downtown Somerville is very different than Putnam.
Right.
Basking Ridge, as Jen Acey said, technically Berners Township may have like 4 or 5 different areas that might be considered downtown. Those issues that they're dealing with there are different from us. Some of these towns, even Bernardsville, has more restaurants than we do, so they can sort of aggregate and do Taste of Bernardsville or some other programs that if we were to get all the restaurants, we would have 20 pizzerias and few restaurants.
Correct, but we have a cidery.
So we have
It brings people from all over.
And so one of the things that was mentioned is perhaps looking at some of the downtown issues and promoting these businesses perhaps on a regional basis. So once again, look at the Somerset Hills. Could we work with these other towns to bring in a taste of the Somerset Hills or something along those lines? Robin, also want to mention the other service that the county has secured is a CoStar.
Oh, I know CoStar.
Yeah, so I know you know CoStar. So CoStar is a real estate database, and it can tell you what properties are for sale, what properties are be up for lease. And depending upon what information is plugged in, you might be able to get information regarding owners and tenants of those properties and perhaps some of the details of those leases if that information is uploaded. So it can also let you know, hey, Gina, someone's looking to open up a salon.
Mm-hmm.
And you could use CoStar to see, hey, are there any leases coming up in the next year so that we can start reaching out to some of these owners also. So if you're looking for information, you can reach out to Somerset County, or you can ask us or ask Robin, and then she can reach out to the county to find some of that information.
This is commercial real estate or
Yeah.
residential?
Just commercial, get that information out to say like people that are looking to open a salon or move their salon, like that's. It's great for us to know, but like, how do we then transmit that information to the people who need to know that?
Well, we start by talking about it. And then we can really work with the county to get a list of these programs and then, put them out on
Put them out
whatever,
there, yeah.
whatever media we have, right?
Yeah.
Facebook, website.
Did they talk about communication? Because like the big thing when you have these events downtown is how do you get people to come? So it's communication with residents, it's like, that's the hardest part.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
get people to sign up for your,
Don't just put it on Facebook
Right.
or webpage, you've got to do push
Yeah.
things like we do with Bedminster, or absolutely,
Yeah.
everybody has that same thing,
yeah,
right?
that's the big piece
Yep.
to all
Well,
this.
because that's what I was kind of getting at, is that
Yeah.
everybody's used to information coming at them in swarms, right? They don't go looking for information, so.
Yeah, and part of it is not just being not being passive,
Mm-hmm.
but that you actually have to go out.
Yeah.
And this is something I think that we've done well over the last several years, is that it's not just, we're gonna put something here and like, okay, well, it's buried somewhere on our website. Oh, didn't find it. Yeah, that's too bad. No, so we're using all these tools that we have to push this information out.
Yeah.
People may still not get it, but it's certainly something I know
Multiple
that we do.
Yes.
That's all I have. Anything else on that issue?
That's good.
All right, but while we're on that issue, we are still scheduling coming back to the meeting with the folks, property owners and business operators in Pluckman, and doing a follow-up in Bedminster Village. And the next meeting we do with Bedminster Village, we're also reaching out to Forest Hills to provide some of the
Got your list today.
okay, good. Great. So we're gonna have a meeting with, could we look at the Main Street 202 corridor? There may be a bridge, but essentially it's sort of acts as one commercial corridor up on 202. So we're gonna do that together with the folks in Forest Hills, and then same time focus on Pluckman. So we know, to your point, we've been looking at these as the issues in Pluckman are not the issues in Bedminster Village.
Right.
So we're not, within our small town, we're gonna look at Pluckman Village very differently
Okay,
than how we look at Bedminster Village.
sure, that makes sense.
Ms. Ray, we have the administrator's report,
Yeah.
please.
Start right off the top, speaking about communication, we had a couple contests at Fall Fest. That we put out there. One was Find Your Twin, everybody wears the stickers.
Mhm.
So I was gonna ask Gina if you would do me
Yeah.
a favor and pull our Find Your Twin, which we announced, we would say, so this contest was sponsored by the Pluckman Inn. And only one, it's $150 gift certificate to each twin. So.
Good, yeah,
So they are, like, both of them are on here?
Both of them are on there, yeah.
Alright, there we go.
Okay. So the winner is Gail Paul of Four Oaks in Bedminster, this is twin one. And twin two is Jen Lewis on Heatherwood Lane in Bedminster.
All right.
There we go.
If you're a Bedminster resident, not like Bridgewater.
Correct. So those are our lucky winners, which is awesome. We have one other contest, Mary, you wanna, we asked Colin to do this one. So
Uh-oh.
he loves this Bedminster alert.
Yes, that's true.
He's a very big proponent of it.
Absolutely.
So, Bedminster Alert was the other contest we had that Pluckman Inn sponsors, which is a $250 gift certificate.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Winner. So sign up, give us your email, and you get Bedminster alerts. What's happening? How easy is that?
How great is that?
Great.
All right.
And what are they winning?
$250 gift certificate to the Pluckman Inn. What?
Right.
for signing up.
Which is pretty much one dinner.
It's a goodness. The winner is Maureen Murphy. Yes, absolutely. Good for her.
Very good also.
She doesn't even live in Bedminster anymore. Well, she used to.
Bedminster resident, I did see her there, actually. I saw her there.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
So she signed up for the Bedminster alert.
That's alert. She misses the old town. What can I say?
That's right.
Well, she comes back down to visit.
That's right.
So just without getting too much in the weeds on Fall Fest, it's a fantastic event. Neil does a great job planning it all day, all year. And Jason and his team do a phenomenal job with the implementation. We wouldn't have been able to done it without you guys.
So the cows, do the chickens have a name?
Huh?
No?
Get that far.
Okay.
We can do a,
Long ago,
No, I didn't. You saw where I was.
Sent you pictures.
the goats were.
I would have loved that.
But I just, every year we look at how we can improve the event and, we got together with everybody, our little team here at Town Hall. We solicited feedback from all the volunteers and all the employees, and everybody had really thoughtful comments, which was great. So we put everything together. Just in general, we talked about obviously parking, addressing some of our parking issues, Mayor, and pedestrian crossing safely, farmers market vendor setup, but was also perhaps flipping the event opposite completely around so that we can use the big field for parking and the smaller field for the activities. Lots to think about, but everybody pretty much thought about the same ideas. So that's good to know. Community garden, the construction continues. Jason, you have anything you want to add on community garden?
they're just pushing along. I mean, they are a little bit behind right now, so
Right.
they're pushing along.
Any issues with weather at this point?
Couple days of rain, they couldn't get it.
Yeah, but this isn't
No.
affect them.
I think the big thing was just the electrical plan.
That got,
One thing.
I brought that over to
Yeah.
him today, so that permit got approved.
Yeah, that was like a 2 to 3 week slowdown, which was a little frustrating. Jacob's Vandenberg House, Renee already provided a great recap on that. We are gonna have a tree lighting and Hickory Tree Chorus will be there, providing colonial, not colonial music, but holiday music. Saturday and Sunday, that'll be an open house full of reenactors. We have Clydesdale wagon rides, we have gingerbread house making. Santa will be there all 3 days and just a lot of fun for everybody. Colonial reenactment outside, so. It'll be good. And a wreath making activity for adults, 2 different workshops.
That's great.
And then, Mayor, if you want to talk about the hoarding issues.
I'll do that at the
Okay.
public safety.
Great. And then, elections, they're right around the corner. Voting machines are gonna be delivered next week, so we're moving forward. That ballot retrieval team is out there every day from the county picking up mail-in ballots. And, we're still waiting on a response from SHPO regarding the park. I did reach out to them again today. I am going up to, the Buckman Cantonment site with one of the members, one of the SHPO folks, just to kind of review that with Jason. That's being scheduled hopefully for next Wednesday or Thursday. And he's our guy at SHPO, so we're hoping he kind of pushes everything along. Tuttle Riverwood, still on schedule for the paving. The letters were all sent to all the residents. I know I received my letter from Boswell Engineering. And last but not least, Amanda's online here if she has anything to add, but now is the time of year when we have to update our model, our JIF, Joint Insurance Fund model personnel policy. So we've met twice and we're just going page by page, making sure we have all the correct and necessary updates. Amanda, anything that jumps out at you regarding the personnel manual?
No, that it's a lot of work and Robin's amazing and we're gonna get it finished ASAP. So nothing crazy, just a lot of tweaking and a few updates.
And that pretty much concludes my report.
Great.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Chief Bernardo, update on the policing.
Hi, good evening. We have 3 trunk or treat events coming up in the next 2 weeks. And that's all I got.
And did the PBA do the Buckman Park barbecue?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
They did. The Pluckman field with Bedminster PA.
Oh, yes, we got a good turnout, and it was a good time, and the weather was nice as well. So we look forward to doing that again next year.
Great. I saw that there seemed to be a good crowd around Bedminster Police over at Fall Fest as well. So good turnout there. It's good to see. And you guys were also doing a coffee with a cop. Was that at the library or was there another one scheduled?
Last month we had a coffee with a cop at the library. The next thing we're doing a broad presentation in mid-November, November 12th at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And they'll be at that trunk or treat.
And they'll be at the trunk or treat, right? Okay. All right, we have citizens to introduce. We have this is on for public hearing. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resolutions on the consent agenda. These are items of a routine nature. The township committee member may pull some or all of them off for individual consideration. Seeing none, take a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez?
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
We've run one resolution for individual consideration. It's resolution 2025-162. This amends the Bedminster Township Police Department rules and regulations. I understand this is to keep us in line with the JIF requirements. Chief, do you want to just walk us through the changes?
Sure. So with the exception of a minor update in 2018 regarding the drug testing process, these rules and regs are more than 2 decades old and they need to be modernized. We are not asking for updates to address any issues that occurred. It's basically what I'll call like general housekeeping. And in my opinion, it needs to be done. And just there's like 10 pages of extra things that were added, but I'll just give you some examples so you get a framework of where we're coming from. The current rules and regs don't address digital and social media use policies because that wasn't a thing when they were first drafted. It doesn't address police licensing, which is required for our officers now. It doesn't address cannabis use, which is now legal. I'll give you another minor example. The current policy requires officers to have a landline at their house, and some of my younger guys probably have no idea what that even is. So essentially, it's outdated, and we're just trying to bring it up to modern standards.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions or comments for the chief? And Robin, I do understand that John has looked at this at the ordinance. You've looked at the ordinance. Our labor attorney, Artimo, has looked at the ordinance as, well, not the ordinance, the changes to the rules and regs. Everyone's blessed and signed off on them.
Correct, Mayor.
So there's no further questions or comments. Take a motion to approve resolution 2025-162.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez?
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs?
Aye. And take a motion to approve the bill list pending review of individual invoices.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote again, please. Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez?
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any matter for new business? Shaking their head, shaking their head, shaking their head. Okay. Old business, utilities, Committeeman Hickey.
Mayor, I have no updates this evening on utilities.
John Blardo, Pluckman Park.
We have already addressed Pluckman Park earlier.
We
in the
discussed
evening,
earlier
if
during
you're
public
aware.
comment. I'm not sure if there's any further updates.
No updates.
I think
I
you've been,
think you thought you were asking him a question.
Oh.
No, there's no update on
Further
Pluckman Park.
update.
can't hear.
I wrote it Somerset Hills Public Safety Committee, so we did have another of our Zoom sessions with the Somerset Hills Public Safety Committee. And this time we were joined by Paul Penna, who's I actually forget Paul's title down at the League of Municipalities, but I believe he is in charge of legislative coordination. And we talked about the hoarding issue. So this is something that we've dealt with in Bedminster in various communities. Some of them are, well, most of them are probably HOA related, but not all of them are HOA related. What we've found, and I probably said this before, and we certainly heard from Board of Health, and I know John Bellarno's dealt with it, Robin, you've dealt with it, Chief Bernardo has dealt with this, is hoarding situations and the impact on neighbors and the impact on the HOAs and what the municipality can do, what the county can do, what DCA can do, and oftentimes that we, when confronted with these problems, we find that our hands are tied. And so I've reached out to League Municipality saying, look, with the affordable housing initiatives coming out of Trenton, we're going to see more and more folks living in close proximity to each other. The affordable housing is not being addressed by single family homes and tract homes on quarter-acre lots. It's being accomplished through density. And when you have people living in close proximity, then your neighbors, their garbage, their odors, what they're doing there oftentimes become yours.
Mm-hmm.
And what you can, if there's a situation that rises to a hoarding situation, whether you live above, below, to the right, to the left, or behind a unit that where there's a hoarder living, you're going to be living with it. And it may affect your quality of life, it may affect your home values, and you can go to the HOA. Good luck. Because in practice and in reality, the HOAs don't spend, they're averse to spending those funds. And also they don't know what their rights are.
They're privately held properties,
Yeah.
so it's like somebody coming into your home to do something.
Yes.
You can't do that really, so.
Right, but if it's impacting the other residents, then there's an issue. And liens, I'm going to say, are probably meaningless, right? If you have a hoarding situation, the threat of a lien is not going to fix that situation. You have a mental health scenario, and a lien is not going to overcome that issue, that concern. So frankly, we talked about this with some of the other mayors, and Chief Bernardo gave some insight into what he's dealt with, and frankly, I said to the rest of the committee members, and especially to Paul Penna, we know there's an issue. Legislation can help. What that answer is, I don't know, because we are respectful of all the homeowners, including the hoarder, right? There's rights that run with that property, with that person's four walls. So there's this balancing of respecting private property at the same time, knowing the impact that can have on neighbors and the HOA itself. But Paul was great. Paul had already reached out to, essentially, it's the lobbying arm for the condominium. I forget, it was like CI something, Condominium Association of New Jersey or something along those lines. That is the lobbying group for condominiums and other HOAs, and they recognize that there's a problem there and that their hands are tied. But they were ready to work on putting together some legislation in conjunction with the League of Municipalities. And we will be talking about this down at the League Convention in November. They're going to pass a resolution. Well, they're going to put forth a resolution to the municipality membership, encouraging some legislation to deal with this issue. Then some of the other things that we've talked about is we continue to talk about deed fraud. As the chief mentioned, he's going to be, Bedminster PD will be running a program for some of the condominium associations on fraud issues. But this is also something that I want to push forward with the League of Municipalities, whether or not we have adequate legislation to protect residents from deed fraud, title fraud, property theft, whatever you call it. Because it doesn't take much for someone to put a lien on property or do a deed transfer that you may not have signed to find out down the road that someone else claims ownership to your property or took out a mortgage based upon that deed. They get the money scooped and you're sitting there with bank knocking on your door saying we're foreclosing on your house. So it's an issue, and we haven't seen too much of it in Bedminster, and hopefully we don't. But we want to be ahead of these issues rather than be behind. So that's what I have for Public Safety Committee. Robin, was there anything else that we touched upon?
Those are our two primary issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to Township Committee comments, and we will adjourn for the evening. We'll start with Committeewoman Fernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to ask, I have a letter that former committeeman Stevenson wrote to Jake regarding, his resignation and how it impacts candidates, but I don't know if I'm allowed to read that or not. I could just say read Burnersville News because it was sent to Jake. Okay. Yeah, I know.
I just got any thoughts.
I don't think he can.
I don't think you can hear.
So anyway, I'm just gonna refer to, Jake had received an email, so if he publishes it, it is there in regards to Committeeman Stevenson's take on his resignation, how it impacts the candidates, and that he, fully supports us. And then, I hope everybody can make it out to the trunk or treat that wants to come, and if anybody wants to sign up, just a reminder, to contact Neil, and that's all.
Okay, thank you. Committeewoman Borowski.
And the night before is Reptile Night that's being sponsored by the Environmental Commission. That is up on Artillery Park Road at the HVNMA gym. It starts at 7:00, and we did this last year, I believe, or the year before. It's a ton of fun. So if you've got kids or no kids, send them our way on Friday. Hopefully everybody comes out for trunk or treat. And again, keep on your calendar the Colonial Christmas, because that's going to be 3 days of a lot of fun and meeting some new neighbors and old neighbors and good time.
How's the tree doing?
Oh, not so good. You did?
Yeah,
I didn't even see it.
Jason did. Beautiful.
I'll take a picture and bring it next time. The last time I saw it, the tree was gone.
Tough crowd, man.
Yeah.
Tough crowd. Let me know, Jason.
Communication, let me know.
It looks great.
Good.
Reptiles and fun.
They are awesome.
You don't have to
It's
touch
just a
them.
map here, I'll show you.
You can come through bus.
I will
stay far away.
That's okay.
I will come to trunk or treat the next day. There's candy there.
Yeah, they can't.
No further comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, once again, thank you to everyone for a great Fall Fest. Chief, while we're at it, races. How did Bedminster do with the races and events of concern?
No, I'm happy to report it was uneventful. And in my world, that's a beautiful thing.
Frank, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Chief, when the chief was asked, there were no incidents in town.
Can you
I
guys
don't
hear
think
me?
they can hear us.
With that, at 8:14, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Good night, all.
And thank you for your comments.
you. Okay, so.